one, when their families need one, or when their children need one. House Democrats are going to continue to press our case. 214 Democrats, every single House Democrat, supports legislation to extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits and has signed a discharge petition to force an up or down vote. All we need are 4 House Republicans. Just 4. There are 219. All we need are 4 to join us. Keep your word to the American people that you are not going to let the Affordable Care Act tax credits expire. The full video of the double tap strike should be released to the American people so that the American people have an opportunity to determine for themselves whether that strike killing people who was shipwrecked and by all accounts were not presenting any threat to American military personnel, whether that kind of seemingly extrajudicial killing is consistent with American values. If Pete Hegseth and the administration think that their actions are justifiable, what are they hiding from the American people? Release the video. Well, here's what we should do. We need to get rid of the Trump tariffs. And we cannot be confident that the Supreme Court will actually follow the law, because rarely during the Trump presidency have they done that. Instead, they've just bent the knee to Donald Trump and his extreme agenda over and over and over again, notwithstanding the fact that lower courts and judges appointed by Democratic and Republican presidents have consistently tried to rein in Donald Trump's extremism, only to have the Supreme Court reverse course, as they just did in supporting a racially gerrymandered map in Texas. So what House Democrats will do immediately to try to drive down costs is to eradicate the Trump tariffs as they've currently been put into place. Why? Because everybody knows the Trump tariffs have increased costs on everyday Americans by thousands of dollars a year on grocery items and on goods that are needed to live a comfortable, quality life in America. So we can start there as it relates to dealing with the high cost of living in the United States of America. The other thing that House Democrats are committed to do is driving down housing costs. There's not a single thing that House Republicans or Senate Republicans or Donald Trump and his administration have done to address the housing crisis in the United States of America. We're almost at the end of the year, and the most significant expense that the American people have to deal with on a month-to-month basis is their housing costs, either their mortgage, home insurance, or their rent. And Donald Trump can't see fit to do a thing about it. House Republicans have done nothing to lower housing costs when the overwhelming majority of the American people know that housing costs are out of control in this country. And Donald Trump, the so-called builder, the so-called developer, nothing from him to actually make housing more affordable in the United States of America. So there are a lot of things that can be done better, but Republicans don't have the will to do it. That's the problem. They just don't have the will to do it because they'd rather reward their billionaire donors with massive tax breaks, just like what they did in the One Big Ugly Bill. Well, artificial intelligence is a transformative technology that has the potential for so much incredible good, particularly as it relates to medical breakthroughs and providing high quality academic and educational excellence to people who live in communities that have historically been under-resourced for decades. We want to make sure that America can continue to lead in the growth and development of artificial intelligence related to our companies as opposed to the Chinese being able to dominate this space. But at the same period of time, of course, it's important to figure out what are the appropriate policies that can be put into place by the Congress to make sure that there's a uniform set of standards across the country and that prevent bad actors from entering into the AI space and enabling them to do harm to the American people, something that no one should want to see. And so the House Democratic Commission on Artificial Intelligence and the Innovation Economy is going to engage in a thoughtful exploration so we can develop a set of policies in consultation with stakeholders all across the country, including experts within the industry space, because House Republicans have decided to abdicate their responsibility. We had a bipartisan task force that produced a very forward-looking report at the end of the last Congress. But Mike Johnson has decided to do nothing to actually re-engage. And so time is up. The year has ended. There's no interest from the other side of the aisle in actually doing something meaningful in this space, engaging meaningfully with experts and academics and stakeholders all across the country so we can do something thoughtful. And that's why we've decided to launch this commission, led, of course, by Ted Lieu, Josh Gottheimer, Valerie Foushee, and, of course, as ex officio members, Zoe Lofgren and Frank Pallone.
Mr. Leader.
Thanks. Well, the Donald Trump my way or the highway approach on all the things, including artificial intelligence, is not in the best interest of the American people, and it's not even clear that he's got the lawful authority to do it. And of course, that's been the case over and over and over again. But Republicans bend the knee to Donald Trump. They just function in a cult-like fashion. And so as a result, what we've seen is Congress, in so many different areas, has advocated its responsibility to actually serve as a separate and co-equal branch of government. And instead, what Republicans do is that they just function as a reckless rubber stamp for Donald Trump's extreme agenda over and over and over again. And so in this particular area, artificial intelligence, with its transformative potential to really bring a lot of societal good to the American people, while at the same period of time, Congress having a responsibility to make sure that we can prevent bad actors from harming everyday Americans, we need Congress in the game. And on the House Republican side, they refuse to do anything thoughtful, common sense, or bipartisan. And that really is the reason why we've launched this House Democratic Commission.